now Mickey Harris joins us with a look at sports.
So, Mickey, basketball season has finally started, and they've been off to a good start.
Yes, the men, they were off to a good start. They opened the season up against Huntington, had a great showing. Last night, it wasn't so great, but we'll get into that plus a lot more right now. The Trojans started their season off with the win against the Hawks of Huntington and decided to take things to another level last night by traveling to Tuscaloosa to take on the Crimson Tide. The Trojans picked up their first loss of the season 79-60. Troy had a poor shooting night from the field. Senior Bernard Toombs led the way for the Trojans with 12 points and 11 rebounds. Vernon Taylor also chipped in 11 on the night. The Trojans are taking their mistakes from the game to the practice court to correct them before they take on their next opponent. The Trojans will be on the road again on Friday, heading to Georgia to take on West Georgia. The women's basketball team had a rough start to the season over the weekend, dropping both of their games in the Phoenix Classic hosted by Illinois University. But the Trojans are looking past that as they are hard at work preparing for their home opener against in-state rival Jack State. The Trojans are currently leading the series against the Gamecocks 39-20. Troy will be looking to their only senior Dunnek McNair to help them win their first game of the season Wednesday night. Tip-off between Troy and the Gamecocks will be Wednesday night at 7 p.m. in Sartain Hall. The men of Troy dropped their second conference game of the season to Florida International on Saturday. The game also ended a 12-game homecoming win streak for Troy. The Trojans knew what they were up against with the Golden Panthers, but they were just unable to hold them. The first loss in the series between the two teams for the Trojans. The Trojans are now in second place in the Sun Belt standings behind the Golden Panthers. Senior wide receiver Jarrell Jernigan says now will tell what kind of team the Trojans are as they respond to the loss.
We go in tonight and try to get a good work in. And this point in time, a bad loss like that and a tough loss, we pretty much find out if the team got character or not. So tonight we need to go in and just have a great practice and get everybody back up for this week game.
Troy will be in action again this weekend on the road, taking on SEC opponent South Carolina. The Trojan volleyball team played their last match of the 2010 season over the weekend. The Trojans were on the road taking on the Florida teams of the Sun Belt. On Friday, they were defeated by the Golden Panthers of Florida International, and then on Saturday, they faced the Owls of Florida Atlantic for their final match of the season. After losing 12 matches in a row, the Trojans finally pulled off a victory Saturday to end their season. Coach Sonny Kirkpatrick says although the Trojans waited until the end to get things together, he is still proud of their effort throughout.
The last couple weeks we played extremely well. You wouldn't be able to necessarily see that except looking at the scores. We played the three top teams in the conference in 3 of our last 4 matches, and the last match of the year against Florida Atlantic we played extremely well. Everything kind of went together, and it was a good way to finish our season.
The Trojans finished the season with an 11-22 overall record and 3-13 in conference action. Troy had 2 seniors, Megan Henderson and Victoria Rogowski. Then, Jaleesa, as you can see, it was sad, the Trojans, a 12-game losing streak, but they did manage to finish with the win. It's always great to finish with the win. They had a rough season, but hey, there's always next year. They only lost 2 players. The men's basketball team, well, just say we started off good, but, we did pretty good. We were up against Alabama. So, we hung in there, less than 20. And football, always tough to lose on homecoming. But, hey, maybe next game we'll come out with a win.
Yes, hopefully next time we'll come out with a win.
Hopefully.
All right. Thank you, Mickey.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mickey.